morning, folks. At least for me it's morning. It's Friday morning for me. And yes, this is the soap from Wet the Face. This is the New York Peppermint Patty scent. And if you're looking for one of these, you may have to look long and hard because he no longer has it. That's Donald, by the way. He has a website on Google Plus and Facebook and a number of other places. I think Tumblr also. It's a fairly firm pug of soap, and it smells just like it says, like a peppermint patty. In this particular tub, when it first started out, it had 6 ounces of soap in it. I've got it whipped up in a wooden bowl here. This one here is a walnut one. Got it from the Distinctive Goat. This one from Donald on his Google Plus giveaway. That's what it looks like on the inside. And this is a boar brush from Stirling Soap Company, and that's what I got whipped up so far, which is smells great. It's nice when you can whip up the lather and still smell the scent while you're whipping it up. At any rate, got the alum block complete with rubber band. There's witch hazel with aloe. I'm going to follow the shave up with another item that you'll be hard pressed to find. This is Tallow Steel Dark, and as it goes for the scent profile, it's right here on the bottom. It's got coffee, cocoa, vetiver, ginger, and benzoin. I think that's how you pronounce that one, and peppermint. And to me, goes pretty good with this. And I'm going to start out with the pre-shave. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is Ice. It's unscented, but it does have menthol in it. Go ahead and get my face wet. This will be the third shave on the gym blade. Going to see how it works out for me today. Using a gym Micromatic open comb, and probably should say, if you're going to be kind of new to shaving with this particular shaver, it is different in how close of a shave you get from a flying wing, for instance, to the open comb. This open comb is, in my opinion, my experience has been that it's a very efficient close shaver. So if you're going to use it on a daily basis like I have this week, in my opinion, it's going to keep you what I refer to as honest. In other words, you're going to need to pay very close attention to your shaving techniques, whether it's your pre-shave, post-shave, how much pressure you use, so on and so forth. Yeah, you're going to have to pay attention to a lot of that, because with it being such a close, efficient shaver, using it on a daily basis, it's going to let you know if your technique is not quite up to speed. I guess you might say the shaving habits. But like I said, it does help keep you honest. Can't be slacking on what you're doing. It's been a good experience, though. It, I guess you might say, definitely keeps me in tune with everything that I really like about this shaver. For one, the design of this thing. If I remember right, the patent was applied for back in, I think, in 1929. So the design itself is, nearing the 100-year mark, and it still works just fine. This is a relatively, I guess you might say, even after, when I even say 50 years, it still works just great. Well designed, well made, works great. This is the part, if you haven't seen one of my videos before, when it comes down and first meets the I'll see if you can see that. Here, that'll help. And then when I start to turn it, I'll turn kind of slow. You kind of see that it moves forward. Just a real cool design in my opinion. Especially when you start considering how long ago that was. This past week I have been working with the scuttle, whipping up lather in it, warm lather, kind of getting used to adjusting from whipping it up in, I guess you might say, a cold bowl to a warm or a hot bowl, because it does affect your lather, and getting used to how much water I need to put in with the soap in order to keep it texture that I like. Normally a little on the wet side. This one here is a little drier than what I normally would whip it up, but it smells great. May have to work with this brush a little bit more. I don't have it quite broke in just yet. I got this one and the one from, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Yaqui, Y-A-Q-I, another boar brush that I need to work on a little bit more, get it broke in. It's not that pokey in my opinion, especially once you get the soap on it, but both of them's got a lot of backbone. For me, my experience, keeping that portion right there, that flat part on the cap there, keeping it relatively flush to your face is probably a good place to start, as goes for finding the angle. You can kind of see there, it does well with the lather. In other words, it'll collect quite a bit underneath there, but it keeps on pushing it right on through with the open comb. Depending on how your skin is, might want to treat it like you was shaving with a straight razor or a shavette. Might want to stretch your skin just a bit. Might help you get a smoother shave. This is the third shave on this blade. Like I said earlier, I kind of sort of feel it. It's not I don't think it's going to end up being a bad shave, but it definitely is telling me this is going to be the last time I use this blade. In my opinion, my beard is a little rough on blades. Some places it's thick, it's coarse. Shaver's been doing pretty good this week. I'm thinking so far, the way things are going at the house, that how I'm feeling. This weather has been crazy. We would go with highs in the mid 60s and the lows down in the 20s. And, you know, it's been a way up and down, not normal. Going to attempt a straight razor shave tomorrow with my gold dollar. Is that a W59 if I remember right? Remembering all the model numbers sometimes can be a chore. And I'll be using another one of Donald's soaps. Don't think, been practicing on the stropping, because that's usually where I mess things up around the edge there. Don't think, in other words, I stropped it when I first got it. I'll strop it again right before I start with it. Thinking it'll be alright. Sometimes it just happens, at least with me. You get a little careless with the stropping around the edge, and there you go, that's the end of that. Time to send it back to Frank to have it honed again. This one here, this blade here, it even says it on the spine that it's stainless. And it's Teflon coated, this blade is. Good number of gold dollar razors or straight razors are carbon steel, but this W59 is stainless. I hear tell that it's not the easiest to put an edge on. Guess that's something to get in consideration when you're going to buy a straight razor. Stainless or carbon. Yeah, this is pretty close. There's not a whole lot left. Flying Wing, I think, is probably my favorite though, because it's like I say, it is not quite as close as a shaver as this one here, but it's very smooth, comfortable. I guess you might say a little bit more forgiving, more room for error for if you're just learning how to use one of them. And usually these shavers are pretty inexpensive. If you're patient and diligent on eBay, you can usually pick up one of these anywhere from $25 to $35 with a case. Just depends on what kind of case it is, or a box, cardboard box. How much are you willing to spend on one of these shavers, and what kind of condition are you wanting it in? Because even if it's losing or lost some of its plating, it still shaves just fine. I've got a few of them that are like that. They still shave just great. Smells wonderful. Got that cooling effect going on. The peppermint's nice, especially to go well along with this pre-shave. To me, this is a very enjoyable shave. No, not everybody gets good shaves with these. Everybody's face is different. Whiskers. Your mileage may vary, in other words. Still not a real bad shave. If I wanted to push it, in other words, for one more shave out of this blade, I could probably get it. I just have to pay a lot of attention to, I guess you might say, slow down a little bit. Speed shaving, in other words, may not be the thing to do when you're trying to get some longevity out of a blade. I'm looking for smooth and comfortable, so 2 or 3 works just fine for me. Bought a pack of 200 from Ted Pella, and I think it's in between $35 $36 for 200, and figures out roughly 18 cents a blade. Get 2 shaves, and you chop that down into 9, and you can kind of do the math. In other words, he does get the cost per blade. It does work it on down. And for me, considering that most of my shaves with a DE blade is usually one and done, there's some exceptions, but for the most part, that's how I guess you might say I like playing it safe. Not interested in getting a bad shave, just trying to stretch a few more pennies out of a blade that's already just costing me 10 cents or less, depending on what kind of deal you get on your blades, where you buy them at. I have links down below. One of them I have for blades on this one here is a trial blade. So in other words, if you're just starting out, you don't know what blade you want. In other words, you don't know what's going to work well for you. In other words, a blue carbon might be something you're interested in. I know for me, I get one shave out of that blade, and it's not the smoothest or the most comfortable. And I hear tell that that particular blade may not have been necessarily made for shaving. But, you know, some people do like them. So if that's something you're interested in, you might want to go to Try a Blade and get a pack of, I think it's 4 or 5 blades, and, you know, give it a try. See how it works for you. That or get a couple. In other words, if you need more shaves, but you don't need a pack of 100 or 200. But this one here, being Teflon coated, seems to be, it really gives Treat Supers a good run for the money. Treats are, they're just a little bit of a difference. But like I say, considering I usually use them once or twice, depending on, in other words, what blade is easiest for you to find. In between those two, might be splitting hairs there. But I think most will probably go with the Teflon coated one. Witch hazel. Teflon coating seems to add to the blade. I even noticed shaving with some of the blades through the month of December, DE blades, that Teflon coating, it seemed like on for instance, it was a Lord blade that was Teflon coated, while some of the other blades weren't the best shaving for me, the best experience, but the ones that were, in other words, the blades that were Teflon coated, that I found out they were Teflon coated, those gave some really nice shaves. I think Lord Cool, I think is number 5, and there was one other one, another Lord blade, I think it was Teflon coated, and both of those gave some really nice shaves. I was shaking up the aftershave there. I have a link to Donald's website as well as the Tallow and Steel. If you're interested in checking out some of their other products, like I say, you'll be hard pressed finding. You'll have to go to a buy, sell, trade or something like that in order to find some of these products for sale. And to be quite honest with you, it's been a good moment since I've seen any dark for sale. And as it goes for the Peppermint Patty, I can't recall. I don't look on a daily basis or anything like that, but I don't recall seeing the Peppermint Patty for sale. So you might struggle to find it, but it's a really nice soap. That scent is great. All right, so once again, the shaver of the day, Jim Micromatic, which is also known as the MMOC. Like I say, you find these on eBay or Etsy. They're pretty easy to find. Just pick the one you want, with or without a case. They're not very expensive at all. They're easy to find. And got my walnut bowl. Oh, I didn't mention before, there are grooves in here. I have 2 bowls that are from Distinctive Goat. This one here has what the more or less called the concentric rings. So the rings just, they don't spiral. In other words, there's a ring, then there's another one, and it just works its way all the way down towards the bottom. The other bowl I have is it's got grooves in it, and it's spiral, so it spirals all the way down. To be honest with you, I don't really notice any difference on how quick it may whip up a lather in between one or the other. As it goes for, in other words, the difference in the grooves, does it help much at all? I don't really notice it. Might just be a personal preference for you. And there's the brush there, and I've got tons of lather still left in it. Had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, if everything goes well, I'll have a shave with a straight razor. We'll see see if I have any weepers or any cuts. Everybody stay safe and smooth shaves to you.